What's up, everybody? My name is Mia Hall. I'm a speaker, writer, and career strategist, and I have a blog called Mia's Full Court Press.
Look at me now, look at me now. They're looking and thinking the how, but look what they found. They're gonna be turning them down.
Today, I would like to introduce to you a JR of JR Sports Brief to come today to talk to us on Mia's Full Court Press Live. So give it up for JR. Well, thank you for joining our show today. All right, so first I want to ask, imagine you had to play on one team just for a month, right? Just for a month. Which team would that be and why?
A professional sports
team? A professional sports team. It could be any sports. You know, I love basketball, but you know, it could be any sport,
right,
but with a team. You have to play on one team. Which team would it be in any sport and why?
I'm gonna tell you, I'm real quiet and low key, and you big me up nice. Before I get to that, everybody should show you some love because everything that you've been doing over the past few years is awesome as well. So I can't ignore that. You gotta do that. But if I could play for any team, one.
Just one.
With the current guys that are out there now?
Yeah, they said tomorrow you can start on this team, any sport. Which one would it be and why?
I love the Knicks, but I go play quarterback for the New York Jets.
Okay,
so
okay.
We can actually go ahead and have a chance to win a Super Bowl.
Okay.
It ain't gonna happen no time soon.
Okay. Well, you with my dad. My dad is a big Jets fan.
Yeah,
so.
your dad is a smart man. He's awesome.
You somehow talked your way into an internship with Vibe magazine before you even got into college. Can you tell a little bit about, you know, how that came about?
I'm sneaky. That's easy.
Okay.
Nah, you know, I grew up in a military family. My grandfather served, all of my uncles. I grew up with my mother, everybody around me. I grew up with strong influences. So when you talk about you were growing up and, you know, it was after school and this, my after school was at home, right next to my grandmother with my homework. And it was nothing else that was happening until I got the homework and stuff done. So it was always work. I got a chance to play a lot. It wasn't like, yo, you're gonna do this and you're not gonna do anything else. But I learned a work ethic. You know, when I hit a certain age, I feel like my grandfather put me outside and he was like, you see this block? You see all that grass out there? It's your time to cut it. You know, you see that hedge there? You trim it at. I'm not getting down under here and doing this plumbing no more. You're gonna go down there, you're gonna fix the sink. So that was the type of responsibility I had growing up. And yeah, by the time I got to my teenage years and in high school, I knew I wanted to work in business. And I knew I wanted to work in marketing, not so much the arts. I was more so into a lot of the advertising situation. And, you know, Vibe was still relevant. It was a tangible magazine, and you know, it's not a digital blog right now. If you ask most people, and younger people, what's Vibe? That's that, it's like World Star, that's that website over there. But they were still printing physical publications. And my uncle is a DJ. And I had ended up talking to him, and I spoke to my cousin, and he ended up knowing somebody at Vibe. And you know, I went for an interview. They basically threw me in there, and I had this internship at Vibe in the marketing department. And they, to my surprise, they let me hang around. I wasn't even of quote like legal age to be in there working. But I was working with a cool dude named Damian Lemon. He actually pops up on, it's funny looking at your boss on TV sometimes, but he does, what's that MTV show, like Guy Code. See him on Guy Code sometimes. And that was kind of my first real office experience being that young. Like there was times where he was just like, yo, can you check that out on the computer? And I would look at him like, dude, I don't know how to do that. He's just like, yo, nah, you don't make excuses in here, you just go do it. And I was just like, oh, okay, I got it, that's how it works. And they ended up keeping me around for basically an entire year. And it was only supposed to be, you know, like a 6-month internship. But I stuck around and tried to learn as much as I could before they kicked me out.
Okay, all right. Well, awesome in landing that at such a young age. So how did you, I guess, first know that you wanted to do a sports blog? Like, when did that come about?
You know, it didn't become clear to me until the same day that I started it, really. Because I was always in marketing and I was working in internet video when it was started to pop. I worked on an online podcast called Man and Wife. And it was a sex and relationship show that I was helping my uncle with. And I ended up doing all of the online marketing for it. And it ended up being picked up by MTV. And, you know, it aired successfully. It only had one season. And then my current partner, who I work with now, is a dude named Charlie Stetler. And we met with an old cat named Frank Cyber. And he was one of the first people to do, like, internet television. He had a girl called Obama Girl. She was singing for Barack Obama. And he had all of these different shows. Yeah. And he basically said to me, hey, I'm starting a whole new video network. He said, one thing that we don't have is sports. He said, why don't you start your own sports blog and stop yelling at everybody else? Because by then I was in production. And, you know, it was cool. It would have paid the bills, but it wasn't in as creative a space as I wanted to. So what I do now, the buck stops with me. I can do what I like or not like, or work with who I want to or not, you know, and I didn't have that freedom.
How did you be able to do that?
It's tough. You got to show up and work. You know, a lot of people have, my English is good. I'm trying not to think of the big word, but I'm going to use a smaller one, break it down into a few. People are entitled. People feel that they did this and they deserve this, or that they did this and they should be treated X, Y, Z way. And unless you put the work in yourself, nobody else is going to care. So I was still working for an entire year, production-wise, doing side gigs while I started my show on YouTube. And I stopped when I was able to make enough advertising money to keep going. But it was just looking to see what events that I could go and cover. So one of my first things, I knew Alex Rodriguez was in the South Bronx handing out bats to kids and stuff like that. He was doing a little softball thing. I saw it in the newspaper, physically in the newspaper. So I went and I just went to the Yankee Stadium and I went with my camera and tried to get as much footage as I could. And it was situations like that until I was able to start building relationships and making people pay attention to what I was doing, as opposed to, hey, I'm JR, I want to do this. Or I spoke to A-Rod, now you need to let me do this. So it's really a crawl before you walk into any situation. It was just making people pay attention and putting in the work. It's not necessarily getting people to pay attention, but establishing yourself just as your own entity and as your own business. Part of that's longevity. I'm going on 6 years into what I'm doing. You know, trying to convince someone that I have staying power, you know, in year 2 is just like, oh, that guy, JR, oh yeah, he's cool and hot. Let's see if he's here in another 2 or 3 years. Oh wow, he wants to do that with video. Oh, well, I don't know how to work my phone, so we can't work with you. I mean, so those are the challenges. It doesn't matter what you want to do. You know, people are used to thinking inside of a box, and people are used to being programmed in such a way that you have to do this, you have to do this, you have to do this. I mean, even if you think about the educational system here in the States, I'm all for education. But the way people are taught in the United States of America, around the world, it's you're born, you go to school, you do school for maybe around, 20 years, sometimes 30 years. You get a job, you stick that job for 30, 40 years, you retire, and then you die. And then, okay, you slip in a vacation here or there. You know, people live to work. It's crazy. So if you think outside the box, it's a lot of convincing. So for me, it's always a challenge to work with other partners and try to convince them on what I'm doing with video. I can show people a whole lot in regards to, I've been here, I've done this, I've done this, I've done this. But anytime it's something different, it's like sometimes talking to this wall.
Who do you see in the finals for NBA?
Who do I see in the finals? Oh, I would love to see the Golden State Warriors and the Cavaliers again. Everybody healthy, and I like to see the Cavaliers lose.
What?
I was waiting on Jazz to she did.
Yeah.
Right. We ain't worried about her right now.
All right, Super Bowl.
Oh man, I love the Jets. they ain't winning nothing.
Okay.
We put them out there. I'd like to see Cam Newton. I'd like to see him win the Super Bowl over the Patriots. Being a Jets fan, I love watching the Patriots do terrible.
Right, absolutely. Well, what would be your advice for somebody who's, watching, if we're going to post this, and they say, I want to be a sports reporter one day, what would be your advice for them?
Learn. Keep an open mind. Always be willing to learn and adjust. Don't be hard-headed. Open up your brain to the opportunities that are there. It's think outside the box. What's gonna make you it's not one thing. I got like a whole list of things. One is work hard, learn, listen. Hard work can take you a lot of places. And over time you run into a lot of people, you just go, man, that dude or that girl over there, she ain't too bright. How'd she get here? And a lot of it has to do with hard work. If people see that you work hard and that you're diligent, people take notice. Nobody wants to work with no lazy bum. If you go out there and you're courteous and you're respectful and you're kind and you work hard, people take notice and they want to work with you. But I would say that's most important. And don't be a know-it-all. I like to learn something new personally every day. Whether it's something that I'm reading, whether I'm learning from someone, whether I'm having a conversation, I always like to learn. If you're not learning, you getting stuck behind. And time moves so fast now. So that's like 4 or 5 things, but I just try to spit them out.
Okay, no problem. Thank you. Well, thank you everyone for watching Mia's Full Court Press Live. I'm your host, Mia Hall, and we'll see you again next time. Thank you.
Can you feel it? Look at me now, look at me now. They're looking and thinking of how, but look what they found. They're gonna be turning up now. I'm looking, we looking for sounds. Nah, cool. We cannot focus on hate. Take a look at my face. I'm facing people, painting problems, and it's making me look great. I wanna make sure everyone that hit me hit a soul. I also want the money, car, cribs, and the gold, but I gotta know that everything that glitters ain't gold. And where your talent take you, everybody can't go.